What if I told you that some of the most bulletproof engines ever built are just sitting in junkyards right now for under $1,000? Nobody's talking about them. Nobody's buying them. And honestly, that's exactly why you should be. Here are 3 cheap Lexus engines that are absolute gold mines. Engine 1, the 1MZFE. Let's kick things off with the engine that built Lexus's reputation in the late 90s without anyone really realizing it. Think about how many RX 300s, ES 300s, and Toyota Camrys are still driving around right now. A huge chunk of those are running an engine called the 1MZFE, a 3.0-liter aluminum V6 that Toyota and Lexus dropped into everything from 1994 all the way to 2010. And yet, almost nobody in the enthusiast community ever talks about it. But what happens to an engine when it gets no hype, lives a long, boring life, and gets replaced by something shinier? It gets cheap, really cheap. We're talking $500 to $1,200 for a used unit. And not some high mileage garbage. These things are everywhere because Lexus made so many of them. And they last so long that most get scrapped from body damage before the engine ever gives out. Spec-wise, you're looking at 194 to 220 horsepower, depending on the year, 210 to 220 pound-feet of torque, dual overhead cams with 24 valves, and later models got Toyota's VVT-I variable valve timing. The block is forged crank, hyper-eutectic pistons, and pure Toyota overbuilding. It's not glamorous, it's not turbocharged. It doesn't rev to 8,000 RPM like a Honda, but it will outlast almost anything you put it next to. Now there's one thing I have to be straight with you about. Early 1MZ engines, specifically pre-2000 models, had an oil sludge issue. Bad PCV ventilation caused oil to cook inside the block if you skip changes. But here's the thing. Toyota acknowledged it, fixed it in later revisions, and the fix for existing engines is just a $100 flush and switching to full synthetic 5W30 on a regular schedule. That's it. That's the whole problem. So if it's that reliable, why do people keep ignoring it? And more importantly, what are the people who actually know about it doing with them? Swaps. Lots of them. The 1MZ has become a quiet favorite for anyone building on a serious budget. People are dropping it into Civics, small trucks, hot hatches. You can squeeze 250 plus horsepower out of it with cam upgrades and a proper intake, and the whole build still comes in under $2,000. And in stock form, you're getting 25 to 30 miles per gallon on the highway from a V6. That's genuinely impressive. Knock sensors tend to go around 150,000 miles, $200 fix. Timing belt needs doing every 90,000 miles. Beyond that, just oil changes. Coolant flushes. That's basically the whole maintenance story. If you see an RX 300 or ES 300 with a clean engine bay and a recent service history, you are looking at a deal. Full stop. By the way, if you're finding this useful, do me a favor and drop a like right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are trying to make smart decisions with their money. All right, let's get into engine number 2. And this one is where things get seriously interesting. Engine 2, the 1UZFE. The 1UZFE is a 4.0-liter DOHC 32 valve, all aluminum V8. It was built by Toyota from 1990 to 2000 and dropped into the Lexus LS400, GS400, and SC400, the flagship cars of the entire Lexus lineup at the time. We're talking about the engine Toyota used to go head-to-head with Mercedes and BMW. But here's the part most people don't know. The 1UZ-FE was FAA, certified for use in light aircraft. The Federal Aviation Administration looked at this engine and said, yes, this is built to a standard where we'll put it in a plane. That is not a joke. That is not marketing language. That is factory blueprinted, aviation grade engineering, sitting in a wrecked LS 400 at your local junkyard for $1,200. Here are the numbers: 250 to 290 horsepower in stock form, 260 to 300 pound-feet of torque, massive main bearings, timing chain, not a belt, so no belt service anxiety, oil jets cooling the pistons, Nikasil lined bores, the kind of tolerances you'd see in engines that cost 3 or 4 times as much. Consumer Reports documented these things routinely crossing 200,000 miles. There are documented LS 400s with over 1 million miles on the original engine. With routine maintenance, nothing exotic, just oil changes and timing belt service every 90,000 miles. The weak spots? Valve cover gaskets tend to seep around 150,000 miles. $150 job. Water pump is worth replacing preventively around the same interval, maybe $300. That's genuinely it. The heads almost never warp. Internal failures are so rare that most forums barely have threads about them because there's nothing to talk about. So if this engine is so incredible, why is it available for $1,000 to $2,000 used? What's the catch? The catch is that it's old. It doesn't have modern direct injection. It doesn't have fancy adaptive torque management. It doesn't come with a shiny new turbocharger bolted to it. In a world where car guys need specs to show off with statements, this engine doesn't exactly set the internet on fire. But for the people who actually know engines, this is the deal of a lifetime. On boost, this thing handles 400 to 500 wheel horsepower. It's rear-wheel drive in the LS 400 configuration, which means the wiring and mounts are practically plug-and-play for swap builds. People are dropping it into Fox body Mustangs, drift cars, kit cars, and because the engine itself costs less than a set of wheels, the total build budget stays completely manageable. And as a daily driver, an LS 400 with a fresh one UZ bought for under $5,000 total is one of the best luxury car values on the planet right now. Silky, smooth idle, effortless passing power, and the depreciation curve has basically flatlined. These cars aren't losing value anymore. They're holding it. Engine 3, the 2 GRFE. All right, the first 2 engines we covered were older. Some of you watching might be thinking, okay, great, but I need something with modern reliability, modern fuel economy, maybe something I can still get parts for at any Toyota dealer. I hear you. So what does a modern, overlooked Lexus engine even look like? Is it possible to get the same kind of bulletproof longevity from something built in the last 20 years? Meet the 2 GRFE, a 3.5-liter DOHC 24-valve V6 that Toyota has been putting into everything since 2005 and is still producing today. ES35, O, RX 350, GS 350, Toyota Sienna, Highlander, Avalon, this engine is everywhere. And that is exactly why it's a gold mine. Output sits between 268 and 311 horsepower depending on application, with 248 to 280 pound-feet of torque. It runs dual V VTI on both the intake and exhaust cams. It has piston oil squirters, small jets that spray oil directly onto the undersides of the pistons to keep them cool under load. And it uses an open deck aluminum block design that sheds heat more efficiently than closed deck alternatives. This is a properly engineered modern engine, chain-driven cams, no belt service. Parts are available at literally any Toyota or Lexus dealer in the world. And they're shared with high-volume Toyota models, which means pricing stays competitive. You're not hunting down specialty components or waiting on international shipping. Reliability, 200,000 miles trouble-free is considered normal, with 5,000-mile oil changes on full synthetic. The main issue that shows up, VVT actuators around 150,000 miles, roughly $400 to address. That's it. Compared to what you'd be dealing with on a European V6 at the same mileage, this is basically nothing. So if this engine is modern, reliable, and available everywhere, why is it undervalued? Why aren't people hunting these down? Because it's boring. That's genuinely the answer. In 2026, every YouTube thumbnail is a turbocharged inline-4 making 400 horsepower on a $500 tune. Naturally aspirated V6 don't trend. They don't go viral. The 2GR just works every day without drama. And that is somehow a bad thing now. For the people who understand value, this engine is a direct path to a high-mile, cheap-to-maintain luxury car. An ES350 or RX350 with 150,000 miles, bought for under $10,000 with a 2GR under the hood. You're buying a car that will very likely run another 150,000 miles with nothing more than oil changes and the occasional VVT actuator. And for swap builds, people are putting the 2GR into Tacomas and FJ Cruisers for 300 plus horsepower truck setups that still get usable fuel economy. The parts ecosystem is so deep that finding tuning support, aftermarket headers, and intake options is straightforward and affordable. In hot climates especially, think about driving in summer heat with a loaded vehicle. Those piston oil squirters do real work. The engine doesn't knock, it doesn't heat soak and lose power, it just runs clean numbers day after day. That's not a coincidence. That's intentional engineering. Finding and buying one of these. All right, let's talk practical steps, because knowing about great engines means nothing if you overpay or get burned on a bad unit. For sourcing Copart, Facebook Marketplace, and local junkyards are your best friends. Look for donor cars, an LS400 with a smashed front end, but a clean engine compartment is exactly what you want. Cars in the $3,000 to $6,000 range from accident or flood damage will often yield a perfectly healthy engine for under $1,500. Before buying any used engine, run a compression test. You want to see 180 pounds per square inch or above on every cylinder, with no more than about 15 pounds per square inch variance between cylinders. Pull the oil cap and look inside. You want to see clean oil film, not a brown, sludgy mess. Check the timing belt cover on the one MZ and one UZ for rust or seeping oil. These are quick checks that can save you from a very expensive mistake. If you're buying a whole car to pull the engine from, check for recent service records. A well-documented oil change history on a high-mileage Lexus is actually a green flag. It tells you how the previous owner treated the engine. An ES350 or LS400 with 6 receipts from the same shop over 5 years is worth more than a low-mileage car with zero paperwork. Rebuild kits for the one MZ run under $400. Full engine swaps for the one UZ into a project car can realistically be done for under $2,500 all in, including labor if you shop around. The 2GR, because of its Toyota parts availability, is arguably the cheapest of the three to maintain long-term once you've got it running. Here's the thing about these three engines. The one MZFE, the one UZFE, and the 2GRFE are not hidden because they're bad. They're hidden because they don't cause drama. They don't need to. They just run. The enthusiast world chases drama. It chases big turbo numbers and Instagram dyno pulls and engines that need babying and tuning and monthly maintenance. And while everyone's busy chasing that, these three power plants are sitting in junkyards, in Craigslist listings, in $5,000 Lexuses at used car lots, waiting for someone who actually understands value to pick them up for almost nothing. The window isn't going to stay open forever. As more people catch on to what these engines are, prices will creep up. The one UZ has already started getting attention from the drift and swap community. The 2GR is slowly being discovered by people running high-mile Lexuses and realizing what they actually have. Now is the time. So which one of these three engines would you actually want to build around? Drop it in the comments below. And if this video helped you think differently about what's actually worth your money in the used engine market, hit that subscribe button.